What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Lockdown Career Mode. It's episode number 73, and today we're returning with 2 games in the Premier League after our 2 wins in our first 2 games as take on Spurs at home. Huge clash there against Mourinho's men so early on in the season, and then West Ham away, who have we've seen throughout the course of the save have been one of the in-form and rising teams in the Premier League. Plus today as well, we might make a new signing, and we should see the draw for the Champions League group stage, providing it happens before transfer deadline day. Loads to get through, let's just get straight to it. And before our first game against Spurs, we do have a bid here for Lewis Ferguson of £15 million. Obviously in the last episode we sold Isaac Hayden to Manchester United, sad to let the former Magpies midfielder go, but we are still overloaded in central midfielders right now. We rejected a bid for Lewis Travis because we love the energetic midfielder, but we get a decent amount of money for him, but personally, I don't really want to make major changes to this squad. We had a great start to the season. I like the team as it is. I think I'd rather keep everyone here. 11 million in the budget right now. What we could do is sell Ferguson, use that cash, and maybe buy perhaps a backup striker, maybe a backup right back. I've been thinking of Nathan Ferguson's lack of development last season. It wouldn't be a bad option to get someone better in the backup right back role for Matty Cash. But then of course, as we know, we got Carter, who we really like, a good youngster, and I do believe that Travis could play as a right back in this team as well. So yeah, I'm going to keep Ferguson here. I'm going to keep the band together. You know, we had a good start to the season. It's all about unity here at the City Ground. I'm going to keep him here. Oh, no way. But there is a bid here for Nathan Collins, and it comes from my club, Millwall. Want to take him to the Den for 2.3 mil. Yeah, I wouldn't be against letting him go. He's not really developed at all. So actually, you know what? I'm going to try and see if we can get around 2.7 to 3 mil, which is just over the valuation. I'm okay selling him there. He's a decent centre back to have, but I think we can do better really. So I'm going to ask for, I'm just going to ask for slightly over the valuation from the Lions, and if they accept that, I'll take it. And they say, no, it's their final offer. Okay, alright, maybe up to 2.6 mil. Again, he's out of contract at the end of the season. I'm not going to give him a new deal regardless, so might as well sell him now and get a bit of cash for him. And, okay, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. 2.5 mil. Pretty sure they'll say yes to that. And he is off to the Den. Okay, Nathan Collins going to my team, and yeah, I'm fine with that. Oh, and there is a big bid here for Divock Origi as well. Off to a red hot start. You probably say our player of the season, not our joint player of the season last year. Leverkusen want to take him to Germany. We could get a lot for him, and he is 28 years old. But what this guy brings to the team, I'm not sure we could find a good enough replacement for him. The partnership with Leao as well, you can't forget about that. Divock stays here. So first the 2 big games, and it is indeed Spurs at the City Grounds. We aim to maintain our 100% start. And this season, Mourinho's men off to a very poor start with 2 defeats in their first 2. So certainly favorites this one. Come on, not in the Forest. Let's make it 3 wins from 3 and possibly go top of the table. So it's Declan, well done, son. That's what Rice brings to this team, that winning mentality. Getting balls back for us. And as Saka is released, he's got Jordi Alba to beat. Didn't get away from the veteran Spaniard, now he does. And didn't have the confidence to blast it in either. Should have just smacked it near post, but after last season, you know he can't finish those. But this is why this man stays here. Pure goal scorer. Gets another. Divock again. Left foot, right foot, or with his head. Divock Origi beats 2 men in the air and squeezes it past the Frenchman Lloris as well for his 3rd goal already. Amazing start for Leao, amazing start for Origi. They've both got 3 each in 3 games. They're just too good as a partnership, man. Too good. It's like you can play one without the other and they'll do okay, but you put them on the pitch together. And do you know who they remind me of? Demba Ba and Pathé Cissé. Back in the day with Newcastle United, as Watson makes a crucial block there and Cash gets it away. When Ba and Cissé were together, they were almost unstoppable at times. Their chemistry was so good. As Leao just couldn't get away from Issa Diop. Obi out to Bukayo, and away we come on the break here. Divock does well to control and play it back to Saka, into Matty. And I'd love to get Saka's first goal of the season today against Tottenham Hotspur. Show what Gareth Bale's been teaching him. As he hits the frame of the goal, I think Lloris got a touch on it as well. And Spurs scramble it away for a throw. I'm telling you, man, he is going to score more than 1 this year. I feel very confident, but still yet to get off the mark this season. Great ball, headed away by Donaya. Geria looking for space to shoot. Just off target from Ovi. He's like a different player to the guy we had at the start of last season. He's so much more assertive now, but still leading by 1. Spurs have had a lot of the ball in this game. but haven't really done much with it. Deo to Declan. And now Leao into Origi, back to Raphael. Oh, great save by Lloris. Fingertip stop, and it's still 1-0. We should be home and dry right now. I know Spurs have had a lot of the ball. We've been a far better team, just haven't found that second goal. And again, this is a common problem for us, getting chances, not taking them.
2 minutes.
Oh, he spins it back again. He has been sublime through the middle of the park today as he whips it out wide to Bukayo Saka, and a chance for us to get a second goal, which Rice totally messes up because he's just not a goal scorer. You saw that in the Community Shield. One of the final score though, 3 wins from 3 to start the season off and 3 defeats from 3 for Jose Mourinho's Spurs. There we're overshot right now. I'll give EA their credit. They do know how to dictate when the team's in poor form in terms of their gameplay. 54% possession, 91% pass accuracy, but had no confidence when going forward, no creativity. And as we see after the game, 3 teams off to red hot starts, having 100% records, us, Liverpool and Arsenal, but we're behind in third by 3 goals already. And again, this is what I mean, man. Defensively, I've got no issues with this team, but I know it's ironic with how good Leao and Origi are. Those are the sort of games there where we need to bury more chances. But regardless, as you can see, Collins has now been sold to Millwall for 2.5 mil. We'll get 1.7 mil of that. So fell to Nathan. Had him back in Season 1, and now he's off to the Den. And a bid here for one of our youth players out of contract at the end of the season. I'm okay accepting this as well. What's our budget now? It's £14.2 million. Wage budget alteration. You might be looking at around 14 mil flat. But it's enough to possibly bring in a squad player, and I wouldn't be against a 4th choice centre-half. I know that Morgan Bell, Jay's brother, can play there. We've got Tomori as our 3rd choice now, of Deo stepping into the team. But Nathan was the 4th choice centre-half. Declan Rice can play there. I think Ferguson could definitely do the job despite being 5'11", and obviously I think that as well Jordan Henderson could also be phased back to play as a ball-playing centre-back too. But I wouldn't mind a squad centre-half. Maybe leave the signings after that, because Cox is he's just too small at 5'9". As I'm advancing to the West Ham game, I'm just wondering whether the Champions League group stage draw is going to get made in this midweek. I'm hoping it does, and there it is right there, match rescheduled email, and now we can find out our opponents for the Champions League group stage draw. I'm nervous to do it in a news article because sometimes it reveals it when you don't want to see it, but there it is right there. We don't see who we've got. We can get it from the news article. And Nottingham Forest back in the big time. Their first season back in the Champions League this year will have in their group oh, that's a toughie. You might have missed it, but we're in Group B and we have got the French giants, Paris Saint-Germain, Benfica of Portugal, that'll be very tough as well, and Besiktas. God, we're facing everyone from Turkey, aren't we? Last year Galatasaray, year before that Fenerbahce, and this year Besiktas. That's a tough one, that. I definitely think we should be targeting 2nd place, no doubt about it, but Paris Saint-Germain in our Champions League group. I can't wait, man. Bring them on. And as you can see, the group opener will be at home to Benfica, sandwiched in newly promoted West Brom, and Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge as well. And our first battle will be PSG, will be coming in between Palace and Southampton. And interestingly enough, we'll be wrapping up the group at home to PSG in between Liverpool away and Manchester United at home as well. If we need a win on match day 6 with those 2 massive Premier League games, then Arsenal 7 days later at the Emirates as well. Man, oh man, all I'm saying is this. I hope by then we've guaranteed qualification of some sort. That's going to be an interesting group, man. I'm looking forward to it. Ah, and I got to show you this as well, just real briefly. Once again, we see Mason Watson has been called up for the first international fixtures of the season. So I think it's confirmed now as Tomori and Chilwell are going there as well. I think now Watson is a regular England international. Fully deserved as well. We love you, skipper. Deserved it, mate. So second and final game as we take the trip to London to take on David Moyes' West Ham. Once again, off to a good start this season. 2 wins in their first 3 games as they're now a European club and they want to stay there for the foreseeable future. But for us, 3 wins from our first 3, aiming to stay in the title race for as long as possible and maintain our 100% start. A battle between 2 of the in-form rising clubs here as we face West Ham away. If you remember last season, for quite a long time, West Ham were in 2nd place and the closest threat to the title before, of course, Man City ended up winning it in that crazy finish with 14 finishing on goal difference. They did miss out on the Champions League as well, which is what they really wanted. after a bit of a catastrophic end to the season. But Shiro Immobile was one of the top scorers in the division. They have a really, really good team as well. So again, I'm thinking this year they have an outside shot of Champions League football, if not certainly a Europa League place. Anyway, 11 minutes in, they've made a good start to the game. They've got the first chance, and Sam Robinson denies Jared Bowen. It will drop to Aubameyang, and it's cleared away temporarily as Sandro Tonali finds his man, and Rice is there to win it back. They've got a really good team. They're a European standard team, no doubt about it. The way the AI manager has built their team is really impressive, as Immobile, the Italian, fires it just wide. Yeah, they are a club on the rise, man. I've talked about Newcastle, I've talked about Everton, and of course us. I'd say we're the best out of the lot, but don't discredit West Ham, man. They've got a genuine shot at Champions League football again. As Bamba sent down left-hand side, Leao's in the middle, as is Origi, and arriving late is Ovi Egeria, and there's Leao, who totally scuffs it and puts it wide the post. Talked about in the last episode, though. Draws are essentially defeats in career mode nowadays, so every one of these matches has to be a win for Forest this year if we are to win the title. And Leao just couldn't get it past Ferro, as Rice wins it back. Good start for both teams here. Origi, off the post. Woodwork rattled and cleared. Rice wins it back again. Bamba. So Leao. Oh, yes! Sandro Tonali got a touch but couldn't get it clear, and Jonathan Bamba on hand gets his first of the year right before the break. Perfect time to strike. Man, oh man. Very tough first half. Both teams have played well. Good hold-up play by Leao, and Sandro Tonali got a touch on the ball, but just couldn't get it clear, and Bamba, alert, drills it past Simon and into the top corner. Forest do strike right before the break. We have the lead. Oh, Declan, win that, win that, win that. He has been absolutely brilliant today, Declan Rice. You don't see the defensive highlights, the interceptions in my episodes, but I tell you this, he's been player of the game. As Leao shot hits the post and West Ham clear. We should be 2 goals up, man. You know how important goal difference is after last season, but I will take this 1-0 victory and grind it out for our 3rd clean sheet in our first 4 games. Almost there. Almost there. West Ham had a lot of the ball today, but frankly, despite a good start to the game, haven't done too much. One final chance. Conrad Lema, Sandro Tonali, Mason Watson, well done. And that should do it. As Egeria finds Origi, great first touch, and Saka's away. Oh, went the wrong way in the direction. And Saka gets his first icing on the cake, and Bukayo's off the mark, learning from Gareth Bale. It's already paid off. 2-0 Forest, points in the bag. You'd say we're the 2 rising clubs in the Premier League, and today we come through with a big victory. 3 clean sheets in our first 4 games as well, and that man celebrating with Matty Cash, Declan Rice, was flawless today. Back at his old stomping ground, he was brilliant. Stats a bit deceptive in this one. It really was a tight and hard fought game. Delighted to get the 3 points. And that will end today's episode of the Lockdown Career Mode as well, guys, so a massive thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you did enjoy today's episode, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode featuring transfer deadline day, possibly a new signing, and our first ever Champions League group game as we play host to Benfica very soon.